right, it's part 2 after break. We are back. Were you able to seed the database? Is everyone like following? If not, you can share your screen, we can solve that. Yeah, Shinedu, let's see. I'll stop sharing. Let's share your screen. Shinedu, you're muted, I think. Or I don't hear you. Shinedu? Anyone hears him? Or I don't hear, you don't hear me? Or what? I don't know. No means me. I don't hear him. Okay. Shinedu, we don't hear you. Okay, at least.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we hear you now. We hear you now. Okay, lost connection.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. We hear you now.
Okay. My connection is bad, sorry.
It's all good. Let's make it bigger, your Visual Studio, that I can see.
Let me check the server. The server is still on it.
Right?
Okay. Then I have to check the seed. So I'm getting an error. Maybe it's the import.
Just try to run the seed and let's see. It gives us the error, we can solve it. So scroll up in the error and let's say it cannot find product model.js that you are importing on the top side. Go to your seed.js. We want to see why it cannot import it. I think so it looks good, but I think your seed.js is not at the same level of. Can you type ls here in your terminal? So you have models folder there actually, and you have seed products.js there. That looks fine. Products model from /product model.js. You know what? I suggest to import it again, that it gives us, maybe we see something wrong.
What should I import?
In the line 1, do it again. Like delete it and do it again. Like type import. Completely delete it and yeah, let's import again. Let's see what we get. Yeah, choose this one, That should be fine because it found it. Try to run it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
It could be a typo or something you had. Yeah? When you were importing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is anyone else? Before I share? All right. So let's be a bit faster. What I wanted to do, I forgot. We seeded that, and let's test it. I want to see. Let's complete our endpoint. Okay, we console log the query, and then we say const products complete. Our model was products. What did I name it? Products model or yeah, products model. Make sure that you are importing also that. It didn't do it for me. Import product. Oh, it did. But put a .js that and response Ross. The status both is fine. That slash products. We don't is that it comes to this. Let's do this. I'm gonna make the request. 80 is not here. It took a couple of. The reason is that look at that. It's one. See how many lines is it? 1,000 lines. So 1,000 objects, array of objects I just requested. And you can see how slow was it. And imagine this in your website and you have, let's say, 100 users in your database. Each 100 users makes a request to your backend to get the products. Your server is handling each request coming from everywhere, from each your user, yeah? And imagine if your database wanna send to them every request 1,000 of the products. You saw that for one request, it took almost 1 second. It can even take more because in the front end you have some graphical stuff loading that. It takes more, even a couple of seconds. And let's say you have 100 users at the same time on your website and they request to get the products. So each user 3 seconds, your backend is handling all of this. So it could take 30 seconds that a user can get all the products 20, 30, it depends on the speed of the backend or the internet speed. But you don't want to do this. See, it's too much. 1,000 of products, it's just heavy. That's why we limit that. So today we talked about a limit keyword. Say, hey, don't send me, I don't know, thousands of them. Limit it to 10. We want to take it 10 by 10 actually. And this is coming handy here actually. But before we go, just to make it dynamic and so on, let's test again, just like hard code it. After this, you can chain methods. You can say dot limit. This is a keyword that the function that we today talked about it. You can say limited to 10, limited to 5, limited to whatever you would like. Usually it's 10, 8, something like that. In this case, all the products, it takes all the best 10 in your database. So now if I bang, super fast, and you even didn't notice it. It took 200 milliseconds instead of 800. And you can see it's just only 10 products. All right? Does it work for you? Does that make sense so far? Ikubi says, yeah. Mickey, Okila, Shinedu, Savine, others. What doesn't work, Shinedu? I need a specific question.
Myself, I'm getting an error with myself. I don't know why.
What is the error?
Let me read it. One second. The same model. Cannot find model.
Which module?
Students, let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
1 second.
That would be great.
Maybe you did something
Yeah, definitely it could be you missed something because I tried to be fast in that part. Sorry guys, because we want to come to the main topic. Let me see.
I'm trying to split my terminal.
Okay.
The server.
You are trying to import something and I need to see the full version, but it's related to your product router.js, I can see.
Yeah.
And inside of product.js, you are trying to import products model. And the products model, I can see you are using /. Yeah, it's correct because you come out of the router and then you go inside of that. Again, it could be you have a typo. It could be you have a typo when you are importing that. You can delete the line 2 and give it a try. Yeah, this one. Save and let's see. Put a .js at the end of it, otherwise you get also error again. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Then we have to.
If you already see that your database, you don't need. It's already there. If you already did that. All right. Try to make the request and see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm using the port 777. Maybe you're not using the
Oh,
port
yeah, yeah,
777.
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm using
Be careful
5000.
with that.
The connection was rejected.
Yeah, because maybe you're not running your server.
But my server is on.
Can I see server.js?
You said something?
Can I see your server.js file? Just want to
Okay.
make sure if everything is set up correctly. Scroll down. Where is your server running? I don't see your server running.
Oh. Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's app.listen. You don't have that part to listen a port, and
Uh,
if you scroll down, you will see the next parts that I have actually.
oh,
Yeah. All right.
the same thing.
I think you have to stop your server and run it again. Okay, seems
Ah, okay.
all right.
It's working now.
Seems working.
Mm,
Great.
yeah, okay.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go. So we can limit how many that you want. If you change it to 5, if you we can see that we send only 2 products. Yeah, it depends on and it's usually 10 and you decide. Let's say, and one more thing, we talked about it, you can split the first because you already had it, skip the first. So when you say, let's say, skip 20, let's say, skip the first 20 and 230, which is 10. Yeah, I make the request. It gives me products, but how do I know it's like the third one? I cannot know, but I can check by name. If I skip the first 20, then the 21 product is this one, green turtle food. For me, I don't know, for you could be something else, because when you see the database, it's randomly for everyone. So we can check that. For me, the 30th one is green turtle food. And if I say skip 0, this means it starts from the beginning, the first 10. The first 10 will be something like, yeah, the first product in my database, a toilet or whatever. It's a random rating name. For me, is this one. And if I go back again to test that green total, if it's really the 30th one, I'm going to check again back. Skip the 21st 20. If I make the working perfectly. Say per request that is coming, limit every request that you receive 10 products. I don't want 1000 products. And by the skip, we can control in database from which product to which product you want. And you say a skip 20, it means skip the first 20, skip the first 30, skip the first 50, 100, 200, or whatever. And we want to do this actually dynamically because it's hard-coded. It's always going to give me the same result. 10 products starting from 20 and 30. Every request that comes, doesn't matter, it gives me the same products. We want to make it dynamic by page, by some information that pass here. We say the page, let's say, equals to page 4 and yeah, page 4, something like that. Based on this, we can make a dynamic formula always that we can, yeah, pass it here to make it pagination works. First of all, I need to access to the information that I pass here after question mark. What was that? It's in front of you actually in the line 12, but do as a review. We can access whatever we pass after question mark with rec.query. And I know rec.query is an object, so I can destructure whatever is coming out in it. So I know that there will be a page coming. So the page, I'm going to destructure it from rec.body. Let's select, let me type it. Nothing to do with for now. I'm going to page 4 or page. When we send up this one, we bang. Can page of here. Who can say that? I'm going to show you their outer.
I'm going to show you their outer.
Ah, sorry?
Sorry?
What? Jakub, are you, or it's my voice, it's just repeating.
Voice is just repeating.
What? Jakub, your microphone is open and it's
What? Jakub, your microphone.
it's echoing. Right. It's yeah, query. I'm trying to destructure page from the body of the request, but inside of the body I didn't put anything. The body is just empty object. After question mark means query, so I need to take it from the query. And let's make the request again. It was funny, my voice was like but you can see that we didn't make not page 2. It for me, I think skipping 30 hard coded, but the thing is the console, the first console log is page 2, which is rec.query. We destructure that and the page is 2. You can see that. And we can use this in here, skipping and so on. But we need to build the skip formula. I put it also the skip formula for you somewhere here. We said if you want to skip it dynamically, you need the limit, how many limits you want, 10, 5 or whatever. You have a const limit equals to 10 or whatever. And then you can have how many skip in this way. You take the current page, let's say 3 minus 1 multiplied by the limit 10. It gives you how many skip it should be done. Let's create that. We need 2 variables anyway, limit and skip. In here, I have access to page. So anyway, I'm going to say const limit. I'm going to create it as a variable. The limit we know it's a 10. You can have it 5 or whatever. The skip will be page, whatever it is. The current page is will equals from the request in the rec.button query and structure that. The page, whatever it is, that is, it could be 10, 5, page 200, minus 1. But you need a multiplication parentheses. Whatever is the limit. In this case, as an example, 4 minus 1 30. Instead of the hard, I'm gonna replace whatever is my limit. Also, I want to the only thing that we front end, you should front end in the page coded limit 10. Let's test it. HTTP request product page. You can see it's green. Give me 10. It's gonna skip the first 90 products from the 90 to send the request, but and then from that, if you go to your database, you will see that this one is at exactly the 90 product, the position 90. Yeah. if I want, let's say, the first page, then it gives me pink, green, pink toilet. The first one it was actually. Second page is white dark. If I send the same request, you can see it gives me the white dark. It's always the same result, because in the page 2 we get rid of the first, we skip the first 10 and then we get the second 10 actually. Page 4. So it's working perfectly, the pagination. And the most important thing is your frontend should provide to backend, hey, the user now is asking for page 4. Yeah? If you don't provide this, what happens? Your backend is trying to use this and this. And because the page is not defined, it's kind of undefined. And if you try to put undefined in this formula, it will be null or undefined. And if you try to put skip as undefined here, it's kind of error, so to say. You cannot skip undefined. Yeah, that will be error and problem. Let's solve it. Let's see, not solve it. Let's see what the problem will be. Bang. Oh, that's funny. You can see that if you don't provide anything, it takes it as a first one. The pig toilet is my first product actually in my database. And it gives you the first 10 because we already say the limit is 10. The limit is working anyway, but the skip doesn't work because it always gives you the first 10 products. Always. It's like you used like as a 0. In these cases, it's bad. You have to also think about it. Maybe it throws error. In this case, it didn't throw error, so to say. It was okay, but sometimes it's not. For example, some methods that we're going to use for filtration soon, it's going to make the problem. So always to have a default value when you destructure that. When you destructure something, you can give it a default value. Let's say 0. This is a default value. Even if a page property is not coming in the request, then we say, okay, let's do it as a default value, 0. Then it always start from the 0 without any error, okay? That is better than you don't have anything and it could give you some error. This could sound strange, but you can, when you destructure stuff, you can have a default value in this case. If it's not if it's not provided, it's gonna take the default value. But if it's provided, let's say page equals 4 exists in the query, it's gonna take page 4, not 0 anymore. It's just a default value that you don't have a undefined thing. All right, does that make sense? Is it working for you? I see. We can do for 2 hours of yours, and you know how it works. Give you an exercise. You can do also content with. All right. Yeah. It depends on when you are something like pagination and so on. The pagination is always like this. It's like the formula for that. It's not something special. You need a limit and a skip. The limit is telling you how many per page, and the skip formula is like how many to be skipped if you have page 10, 11, and so on. That's it. It's always the same. And sometimes, but you want a filtration. We saw that, for example, you saw you're building something. You have, I don't know, t-shirts based on color, and you want to pass red, and you want to use this filtration also. In our case, we don't have a color in our product price. Yeah, we can use, let's say, price, let's say equal to 12. There is a bunch of extra information related to your data, yeah, because we don't have a t-shirt color here. The only thing in a schema we have is a name and it says price. In this case, we can like play with price now. Let's say in the request coming, I want the products with price 12 or bigger than 12 or less than 12, something like that. And you can add more chaining to this. All right, before making it dynamic, let's just test it. For now, this part is dynamic, working perfectly based on the query that is coming. Let's test this. You want to say, I want the product bigger than, let's say greater than 12, 15, $20 or whatever. What you can do, you can say dot where with this keyword where. The translation is like, I want the products where price, the price section. That's it. And then again, dot. After where you have three things. You can say greater than, less than, and I think equals. Yeah. Let's test it with greater than, GT. So you want the product where the price is greater than, it's a number, let's say, greater than $20, let's say, yeah? Let's test it if it's working, actually. I don't still use one, but we were going to change. Now let's test it. So here I'm page 2, and I don't want to prepare like pass any price for now because I'm not using that. Bang. And you can see they check the prices. It's the price 32. You don't see any price less than what did we choose? 20? You don't see any price under 20. All of them are above. In the page 2 that you requested, you said page 2, I want the ones that the price is bigger than 20. Let's experiment more stuff. Let's change it to less than. What if I say I want less than? Oops. Instead of GT stands for greater than, less than is LT, I think. I want under $20. The request. So in essence, the price. Hamster toy, the same page.
What we use or ID?
Yeah.
Where?
The ID you can for type special ID special. You have to have an extra endpoint. It's not filtering here. For example, you wanna make a GET request to /API/products/colon-ID. Yeah. Then in that part is extra endpoint for getting a specific product. But for filtration is like you want to get a bunch of products based on some filtration. Yeah. A bunch of products could be, yeah, based on name. Or based on name is a bit tricky. Like if you want to exactly take yellow hamster toy, you need to know regex. I'm going to put this as an extra bonus self-study. Yeah, you have to be accurately to tell database I want this based on name. But anyway, we can sort it based on name, A to Z, Z to A. Yeah, we will come to that. That was a good question. But if you want a specific product by ID, it's extra endpoint and has nothing to do with the filtration. All right. So let's test it for less than $20. If I make the request, the same page, but I said less than $20, you can see they are 5, 8, 14, and the database never give you a product above $20. If I go to page 3 also now, bang, I get something else. Orange chinchilla cage, 4, 10, 10, 10, 6, 8, 9. Makes sense so far. All right, what if I want exactly equal to 20? Yeah, because we say in this case, it's I want the prices less than this price, greater than this price. There's another, I think equals, or I'm not sure. Let's test it. I think there's a keyword, something like that. Let me alt thread. Equals to 20. Why it's complaining here? Oh, it's still loading. My computer is slow, but I think it's working. Yes, I want the products $20. Let's make the request. So in the page 3, I don't have. In page 1, let me see if I have. Yeah, page 1, I have some $20 pink, dark, orange code. No. It depends. For you, maybe be different because it's randomly. Maybe the $20 will be in the page 10. I don't know, or whatever. But yeah. So this is how we can do stuff. Now let's make it dynamic because we don't want to hard code it always 20 because you want to do this stuff always based on what is coming. And it's either based on price or let's do it dynamically in a way that we can do less than, greater than, and so on. I think the keyword like minimum price or maximum price is a good thing, like max price, something like that we can send. And max price will be like maximum price 12. Then it means you want less than that or great. It depends. Let's do it with max price. You can do with minimum price. I don't want to do anything like all of them, but you know what I mean. As an example, let's do max price. I want also a max price query in the here. So a page, let's say we have page, I'm going to put and then let's say max price. Max price user in the front end chooses $50, let's say. So in your case, then you have something like that. Let's get rid of for now price. Go away. Oh, we have max price. In your case, it's like this. You have a query, an object with page for max price 50. We take the query, page out of it, and now structure price. And what if a max provided in the link? This, if it's provided, I want to have a very big value that there's everything. Because if you put and you don't anything, you try to de-estimate, but it's not there. Zero. Price here. To max price, whatever. This maximum price is zero. And I think this price is also in our data. If I test this, so products actually they are free, and but in reality you don't have a price that is free in your database. And imagine if it wasn't free, you would receive an empty array. And it's not good, because you have to think about it. If in the URL is not provided anything, you don't want to say give it empty page one empty array and no products to show, because somewhere in your backend you define the max price by default will be zero. That's bad. That's why we say max price be a very huge number. You can say that it includes everything in your database. In case if the URL, if the query is not providing any max price, then you can be sure that, okay, the max price could be anything. Then I can have any number, so to say, any product with any price. In this case, if I don't provide anything, then I get, oh, what happened? That's exactly working the same way that it should. That's equal. It's telling that the request is coming, there is no max price provided in the link. We say by default this one. And we say, hey, I want the products that the price is equal to this one. And we know in our database we don't have such product with this price. So let's say, what if we say less than? So less than this price, definitely we have all of our products, so to say. It's going to give us some products. All right, it gives me 268 price, 53 or whatever, page one. This is how you can have, yeah, like a max price or something. All right, you can play around with it, and always it's not in your, based on your application, it's not always you have everything there, less than, greater than. You have application, you just maybe want to filter based on a color and a price. Or you have a bigger application, you want to have a lot of things, I don't know, color, t-shirts, types, jeans, or whatever. Then you have a bigger query that you need to think about it, how to do it. Okay, it will be bigger and bigger. Yeah, and also we can sort stuff. But let's test it with a max price of, I want to add dynamically because we chose that. So the page one, max price, the max price, which means less than this price, should be less than 40. Let's see what we get. Now in this case, we provided that in the link. And we destructure it, and because we provided that, it doesn't get the default value, it gets what is coming from the link, which is 40. So we should receive the products under $40. So it's 2, it's 8, it's 11, 17, 35, 32, 29, and so. Guys, does this make sense? All right, good, good. I'm happy. To be honest, you don't do this a lot. It's yeah, for pagination, definitely I do it all the time because you have always some pages to change. But this filtration and so on, it will be like depending on application. It won't be that much, I think. I never use in my application where, price, less than, and so on. I don't know, and maybe in some, like a project that I was working on, Evergreen website. I will show you the project. I was the backend for them. I think we used some filtration there. But anyway, I will show you, just remind me. What I wanted to do. Yeah, sorting. You can also sort by anything that you want. And for sorting, you need two values, like sort by what. It could be by price, it could be by name, which, I don't know, whatever, by anything. And also you need another thing, order. You need to say which order you want, like ascending order, descending order, you know? So two things for sorting you need to pass in the link. But before we pass it in the link, let's do it hard-coded, and then we do it experiment things, and then we do it dynamically. So there is you can chain again, dot sort. Yeah, you can say sort by what. You can see sort receives either a string or an object. You can provide this here either in a string or an object. So we want to sort, let's do it as a string. I want to sort it by price, let's say. Yeah. And then after that, after sort, you're gonna say which order it should be sorted. Should be ascending or descending or whatever, I don't know. And then let me hover on it. Let me see if it gives us some information. Come on. So slow. Come on. It give me my computer is slow, but I think here you can provide two things. Either 1 or -1. And 1 is like, I don't know, from the price less to, I make this mistake, I have to test it. From the lowest to highest price or from highest to lowest, I really don't know. Let's test it. So if it's 1, let's see. I'm gonna test it. So we're gonna, whatever we get, we limit it to 10, we skip whatever we want, the max price, whatever it has, and then at the end we want to sort it. Because here in this case you can see what we get as a max price of under, let's say, less than 50 is not, by the way, sorted in my array. First we have 2, and then we have 8, and we have 11. Oh, looks sorted. No, 35, 11, 32. So it's not sorted. It's just based on the database how it was saved. Yeah. The first that was saved, the first that is coming in the array. But we say sorted in this way. I think it's ascending or whatever. Let me test it. So if I make the request, bang, error. Order is not a function. How could it be? I think we don't have an order here. Let me see the sort. You can say created at, negative date, updated at, name, string, price, number. All right. My bad, guys. I think with this key, that's good. I think we don't have this, but we have the sort. The sort we can define as an object. We can say something like that. We can say price, I want to sort by price, and the next thing coming the order actually. You can put 1 or -1. Yeah, this defines here, and then we don't have that function order. We had it before, I remember, but maybe it changed. Let's test it. It's complaining, but let's test it. So I'm gonna make the request now. Bang. All right, we get something, and it's sorting, and it's all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right. Let's go to the next page. I'm going to go to page 2. Hopefully we get some other numbers. Page 2. Okay, price 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2 here. You can see we have sorted it by lower price to higher price it goes. Yeah? Let's go to page 20. All right, page 20 has $20. That's nice. 20 and 21. Let's go to page 100, let's say. Oh, we don't have. Let's go to page 40. All right. So the page 40, price less than $40, we have 38, 38, 38, 38, 39, 39, 39. Okay, let's go back to page 1. And now because the page 1 we said we want from lower price to higher price. And page 1, it's all of them are 0. What if we change the order now from the higher price to the lower price? It's only the negative one. So we say the order I want to be this one. Okay. For that, we can do, and let's see. So instead of now the same page, instead of getting all zeros, we should get the most expensive ones and from to going lower. Yeah. The price under 40 we said. It starts from 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39. Great. Let's go to page 2. Still we have 39 and then here 38, 38, 38, 38, 38, 38. Yeah, this is how it works actually. Does that make sense? How yeah, Mickey.
I have a question, but it's not related to what you are explaining. It's a kind of stupid question, I would say. But
there is no stupid question. Just let's see.
Can you please go back to the code that you were...
Which one? Product here?
Yes. So line 14.
Mm-hmm.
You typed first price quotation marks and then the order or something. Mm-hmm. And then you wanted to fix the code and realized that this was the right way. Mm-hmm. How I can go there? How I can decide? Do I need curly braces? Do I need quotation? Do I need dots?
Yeah. There is 2 ways actually. Yeah. The first way that you know it from before. That's it. Because you did this, you read the documentation and you know that the var receives only a string. Less than receives a number. Yeah. And the sort actually receives a bunch of ways, either a string or an object like that, and it should be the value 1 or -1. And how do we know that? Either you did it from before, or I really get help a lot from here. When I hover on that, it's good that you can read this. Yeah? Because I do this a lot with my students, that we get used to it actually. At the beginning is really garbage, but always read from the beginning. It's telling you it's a method. Okay, fantastic, it's a function. The next thing is telling you it's returning. Whatever it's writing here, it means what it returns. Returns mean it could be promise, it could be a query, it could be a number, it could be a string. But in this case, it's returning a query. And if you remember, when we were talking about queries, and I said, when a function returns a query, it's exactly 99%, it's like it's returning a promise. That's why we need await for that. Yeah. Sort returning a query. If you don't have await for that, it doesn't work. Also find, let me hover on the find. The find here, it's a model. If you don't see that, what is returning at the end is telling you that. Also find returning a query. This means you need await for that. So this await keyword. First thing first. So first check what is it returning. It's a query. And then the next thing is inside of that, it's telling you that what you can put there. It's a bit tricky to read it, but somehow we can see that it could be an object. It's telling you. And it gives you an example. For example, you can say use created at. You can see this created at we have in our data. We added timestamps true. These are an example that gives you created at, and you can say you can use negative number, a negative date, or updated that. You can use a negative date as a like descending order. Or there is another example. If you can sort it by name, and then the value could be a string like ascending, descending, or you can give it any number. Anyway, does that again? That works, for example. Or the price could be a number, like here we said price. The value could be a number 1 and -1. And how do we know my 1 and -1? It's the documentation. I already know it. The documentation in the Mongoose. They said if you want to sort it by price, either you use 1 or -1. Then that's how we use it. Yeah. But reading that, what you might need is like that can help. Or the other thing is you're gonna ask AI. Before AI, we were searching in the documentation like to find out what the sort, how the sort is working. You can get used to it here to read it, how it works. For example, less than. If I hover on the less than, you can see less than also is a query. And it can, here, .lt, you can see, it can receive a string. It can receive a number. Both works. For example, a string as a number, like it could be a string 40. Because whatever is coming in here is a string, guys. This is a string, it's not a number. And straight ahead, I'm using the max number here. It's a string there, a string number, so to say. But it's working, you know. Why it's working? Because the documentation says also a string working. If it's a number, also working. And other stuff that I don't know really what are they. All right. Let's say how the limit works. If I hover on the limit, .limit, it says you need to provide it a value as a number. And we just provided a value as a number, which is 10. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's difficult at the beginning to read. You don't need to do it in this way. You can ask AI, how can I use this? What limit receives? What argument should I provide for the limit? And the AI tells you, like ChatGPT, yeah, here should be a number, for example. And in this case, also sort receiving an object, and you define based on what you want to sort it. Let's check based on name. I want to sort it based on name. In this case, sorting by name, and you say -1 from ZA, those that I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. It's sorted by actually from Z to A. Now, if I want to sort it by A to Z, it's like the positive number. See, it is B. I don't have a product that is A. So B, black, 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 black dot, black dot, cage. So let's go to the next page. Oh, I'm in the page 2. Let's go to page 1. Maybe I have some product starting with A. No, I don't have. So let's go to page... actually, because I'm limiting that with max price, what if I change it to price 100? Maybe I have a product with A. I don't know, I'm just curious. I don't have. Let's go to page 4, for example. Now we can see orange already. Oh. Yeah, that's how we can, by name, actually A to Z, Z to A. You can do that. All right. You can actually find a specific one by the name also, if you want. And how that works, what I want to see before we go to break. No? Yes? No? Do you hear me? Or stuck?
Yeah, we hear you. What to see?
The question was, we can also put the name of the products. Let's say name equals this for a specific product. All of this stuff. You can do such things. You can do that. Actually, let's, because before that we have a front on the front end, we do it would be funny actually. Yeah.
I still didn't really understand this, how this comes about, but maybe we can see that a little bit after
Understand what?
break. What we're having here, less than the max price was the argument.
Yeah. The less than, no, let's talk about it and then we can go to the break. The less than is like you say, so it's good, it is helpful if you start reading it like a plain English from the beginning. Finding all the products and don't give all of them, 1,000 of them. Limit it to 10. So give me 10 products only. And it's like a skipping based on which page you are. Yeah. And then you telling that here. Always, guys, the less than or greater than comes after where. Because when you say where price, This means you are targeting exactly the price of the products. You're telling, hey, where the price of those products that you give me, those 10 products, is less than whatever is the max price. The max price could be anything. Let's say the user choose, I want the products, they want to buy a bicycle, and it's important the max price for them, like they want under $100. Yeah, that's the way that they choose under $100, and then you receive it. The max price user wants $100. Then you say, hey, give me all those bicycles where the price is less than 100.
Yeah. It's rather means that less than the maximum price. Okay.
Exactly, less than the maximum
Yeah,
price.
yeah. Now I get it better. Yeah.
Fantastic. If you read it from the beginning, it will be much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you can sort it or not, it doesn't matter. Based on what you need to do, you can expand this, you can change this, but that's it. It has nothing special to do. There are other methods, but mostly used is definitely these two for pagination, definitely, and the rest is like the filtration. You want to filter it based on price, you want to filter it based on color. If your schema has a color, then you can target color. Where color, and then you say equals, then here is not talking about like the color coming, like the color link actually. We are about price. Also use the query. Let's come break. And here part I'm telling you that instead of using where, you can get rid of the where part and you use it here most of the time if it's a specific user by a name, so to say, or finding products by color. We can do it straight ahead inside of this here, that we don't expand it a lot like this. This one is, so far this two is very important. The rest is just, it's good to know it. Sort also is good to know it. All right, let's be back in 1 hour. Let's be back at 13:07. We continue from the front end. And if you don't want to do the front end, it's your time. I can open the breakout room. You can work on your stuff. All right, let's be back.